Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth week of our HRL Forza Elantra series. We're going to be racing on the Silverstone International Circuit. There's two different short track circuits for this track, and decided to go with this one, although the other one is pretty good too, but they're both kind of similar in the sense that they're kind of like the track cut in half. So maybe we'll race that other one someday, but we'll see. There's the starting order, and we're already going green. And I just want to say, too, real quick, that I did not mess up the starting order. That's just actually how they do the rolling start for this track layout. It's actually like first and third, like towards the outside. I don't know why it's like that. So maybe if we race this track again, maybe we'll just do the manual rolling start, because we did switch it up for Moto 2. But again, I didn't know that going into it. That kind of caught me off guard. And yeah, I feel like it's the only track in the game. It's at least the only one that we've experienced so far where it's like that, where it's kind of backwards. So again, I don't know why it's like that, but that's the way it is. So yeah, I wasn't reading the order off wrong. That's just how we were lined up based off the qualifying. So yeah, there you go. Kind of weird, kind of a weird start because of that, but just kind of the way it is on this one. But yeah, I really like this track. What I like about it is that it's kind of like an in-between of the last couple road courses that we've raced, I would say. Like, I think it has elements of the Hakone track. I think it has elements of the Hockenheim track, too. I think it has those, like, tight, like, back and forth, like, really slow turns that you have, like, more at Hockenheim. But we've also got the really long straightaway into the, like, wide sweeper, something more like what we had at Hakone. So you kind of have, like, a little bit of both types of tracks there. And I think it combines to make for a pretty fun track. Feels like a go-kart track. It's another one that, again, like similar to the Hockenheim short, where it just gives me like go-kart track vibes. And yeah, it's very fun to run laps on, very fun to battle on. This one commonly pops up in this car class's hopper in the featured multiplayer. So, and I've had a lot of good races there. So that's kind of what made me want to put it in the schedule here for this Elantra series. This is also a track that was I guess you could say, like an honorable mention for the last series that we ran. It was definitely a track that I considered throwing in the schedule there, but obviously that was a short series and there was only so much room, so it was hard to fit in all the tracks that I wanted to race. And this was, again, like an honorable mention one, like one that just missed the cut. Here we have Slaunch making a really good move on Blake right there, who is showing up for tonight. He showed up for, I believe he was Lime Rock last season. And that's kind of how he was on Halo as well. He usually doesn't make the full season, but we have a few drivers that kind of show up when they can. And he's one of those, so definitely expect to see him, maybe for another round or two, but probably not much more than that. Kind of shows up for, different nights, different tracks, depending on how it works out. But yeah, showed up for tonight, took the pole. So obviously, looking pretty good from there, and looking to, hopefully have some solid finishes with that type of speed in qualifying. Slaunch trying to regain, obviously not the season that he's been hoping for so far. Although we've been saying it, like, I feel like he's had a lot of races where the race is going well until it's not. Like, it's going well and then something cheesy happens, usually towards the end of the race, and then it kind of just like completely throws away the good race he's having up until that point. So right now he's leading. We'll see if the Pamplemousse LaCroix car with Slaunch can regain in this one. But he is trying something different. He did start on the front row, and I'm seeing more people start to experiment with it. I think Slaunch is trying that starting on the softs strategy. I think that's why he was able to get around Blake, and why he's now stretching that gap on him like so aggressively. I believe he is on that strategy. So Slaunch is on the softs early on. He's trying to get out in front. He's trying to, build that gap. He's going to pit early for the hards, and then when he gets on those hards, he's going to try to just hold on the best that he can. So we're going to see how it works out for Slaunch. It should work out decently because he has good pace. Like, again, he qualified second, so he has good pace. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out. Like I said, we've seen more people start to elect to try that strategy, and I love seeing that because, again, the strategies, for some reason, I feel like the strategies have been working out better in this car. Like, just like the way it works out during the race, and how everybody with the different strategies ends up like grouped together, and how like the pit exits are super close and stuff like that. It happened a little bit in the MX-5s, but I feel like it's working out a lot better with this car. And again, I don't know why. I think part of it might be um, the amount of testing, right? Like obviously the last series was like kind of a test series too. We were experimenting every single week, and now I think I've found a pretty comfortable setting where I like to have the tire wear, where I think it like works the best for all the strategies being viable. I think that might be a part of it. Whereas with the MX-5s, it kind of changed, right? Like there were some weeks where just the double mediums was just like really strong, and it was just not really a reason to do anything else. And then there were some weeks where the tire wear was like pretty rough, and you'd actually want to run like the hards and the mediums or something like that. We even experimented towards the end with just doubling up on the softs and stuff like that. So there's just like a lot of experimentation going on. Now I think we have a pretty good feel for it, and I think I have a pretty good feel for the settings, so that it hopefully balances everything out. I hope it keeps working out that way, because like watching the races like evolve with the different strategies, and like seeing everybody like end up grouped together has been really cool. And yeah, it's made for really good on track action. Like we've had a lot of pretty crazy racing so far this season. So yeah, hopefully it continues to work out pretty well. I should have mentioned it earlier, but you can like kind of see it in the top right. But 16 lap races for both of these. Again, you got to remember we do the extra lap to help us count the order after the race, and also like the main reason of doing it is for the film. The Forza films are kind of dumb, and if we set the actual race to 16 laps, the problem is it lets everybody finish live during the race, but when I watch the film back, it ends. It's gonna end like early. It ends whenever the owner of the film crosses the line. So if I end up finishing anywhere higher than last, we're gonna miss some of it. So that is obviously not ideal. So yeah, it's not 17 laps for the race. It's 16 laps. Have it set to 17 so that we can get all of the action on film. And we have right now Slaunch. There you go. You see it in the top left. Slaunch going in for his pit. Like I said, he's going in for his pit early because he was running that early stint on the softs. So he's going in for his pit early, and he's going to come out on the hards. He's going to try to last the rest of the race on those hards. So right now we have the battle for the lead currently on track. Technically, Slaunch went in with the lead, so like we'll have to see. Like virtually, he still has the lead, right? We'll have to see who actually comes out with it when the pit cycle goes through and everybody does their pit. But this is the battle for the lead on track currently between Blake and Luke, and Blake trying to hold on the best that he can here and try to race as defensively as possible. He's going to try to help him out down the line. He's going to have to pit too, and if he can try to keep Luke behind him until the pit cycle happens, that'll obviously like benefit him, right? If he comes out of the pits in front of him. So he's going to try his hardest to do that. And another aspect of it too is that it's kind of bringing Matt back into the fight. Wow, we're really close right there. It's kind of bringing Matt back into the fight. I mean, you can see him start to inch closer into the frame, and he's starting to get a little bit closer. These guys had a decent gap from Matt, but you can even see it on the intervals there. Like Matt, it was just like 1.3. Now it's like 1 second. Now it's under a second. Now it's getting close to 0.8. Like he's this defensive action is helping Matt catch up a ton, and that'll potentially help Blake out too if he can threaten for second place from third. So yeah, all this is hopefully going to help out his race if he can hang on, right? If he messes up at one point and Luke's able to complete the pass, which might happen right now with a big run to the inside. If this pass goes down and gets completed, then now Matt's just going to be closer to passing him, right? So it's not really going to work out entirely. But we'll see if he can complete the pass, because that was a big move, and Luke is going to carry a lot of momentum into the straightaway. But he's not able to complete the pass here entirely. Still going to be battling into this long sweeper. And, okay, finally completes the pass. Does Blake fight back, or does he pit? He's not going to pit yet, but is he going to fight back into the chicane? Let's see. Gets really close onto the bumper. Don't think he makes any contact, but does get very close, trying to stay in the battle. And no, it looks like that pass is definitely going to be completed there for Luke. So that's a big move, takes the lead, and we'll see how this ends up mattering when they come out of the pits, because Luke and Matt are on... Whoa, hold on, we'll get back to it. Big moment right there for Matt getting super loose. Let's take a look at a replay on that one. And yeah, it's hard to tell from that angle, but I think his tires just barely touched the grass, and that's what kind of got him loose there. And I think you could even hear it in the audio just like a little bit, and we could see a little bit of grass pop up. But yeah, it was just like ever so slightly. I think he dipped his left rear into the grass, and I think that just like completely unsettled the car. And that was a big moment. Like, he was super loose right there, but was able to gather it up. So thankfully, you know, that sucks, right? He was catching up with all the battles and with all the battling and all the defensive action. He was catching up. He was well within a second of Blake, and was in a really good position right there. And obviously, he's going to lose a lot of time from that. But on the bright side, again, no spin out, no wreck, no wall contact, or anything like that. So on the bright side, he's still going. But yeah, very big moment right there. And we'll see if he can recover from that. Now, this is interesting. Blake just pit, and I believe he's actually taking a risk. I believe he's actually pitting for softs. So that's a bit early. That's a bit early on the interval. Like, him pitting for softs now, that is quite a bit early. He is obviously going to get an advantage right away when he comes out of the pits. But towards the last, like, lap and a half, his softs are really going to fall off. Luke and Matt are going, they are on the opposite strategy of Slaunch, right? Slaunch started on the softs, and he's ending on the hards. Luke and Matt started on the hards. They're gonna end on the softs. But they're going a little bit later, and they're going to pit on a lap where their softs are going to last the rest of the race. Like, they're not going to have any, like, tire wear concerns with their softs. So they'll be fine. They won't have any tire fall off when they make their pit. On the other hand, Blake absolutely, again, like on the last lap and a half, especially, or like last like 2 laps or so, but especially like the last lap, he's going to have his hands full. Like, the tire wear is like really going to hit him at the end. So he's making a risky play, and he's, you know, just trying to make a gamble, essentially. Like, he knows he's behind a little bit with the way that pit cycle turned out. So he's pitting early and, you know, making a gamble type play to see if it can work out and see if it can actually, like, you know, work out in his favor. So we'll see how it pans out. It's definitely a bold strategy con moment. But we'll see how it pans out for him. Now, here we have, let's see. Okay, so yeah, we're on board with Blake here, and obviously he's going to be catching Slaunch very quickly. We have a lot of the medium runners have went in for their pits. Roman and Detail now went in for their pits. I believe they were doing hard softs, but they're just pitting a little bit earlier, like later than Blake, but a little bit earlier than Matt and Luke. And then, yeah, I think Opix, you know, I think he's like pretty dead set on running that double medium strat. He definitely already pit. He's been doing that. He's been sticking to his guns on that all season. He likes that strat. So he already got his pits done. But here we're watching, this is essentially like the battle for the lead until Luke comes out of the pits, right? And here we go. Blake making the move on Slaunch, which we expected, right? Again, Blake is on the softs here. Slaunch is on the hards. But again, Blake did make that early pit. So yes, this looks really good for him right now, getting around Slaunch and getting this gap. It looks really good. But I'm telling you, Slaunch just needs to stick with it and try to stay close by, because Slaunch pit at a perfect time for his hards to last the rest of the race. Slaunch will get this advantage back on Blake on the back half. It's just going to take a while. He's probably going to need a little bit of help. He's probably going to need a little bit of battling, but he will get the advantage back. And here comes Luke out of the pits. Let's see how this works out. Wow, Slaunch with a really good apex right there. Meanwhile, Blake, the complete opposite, off the track. Here comes Luke. What the hell is this moment in the race? And they're really close. It's going to be battle for the lead off pit road. Luke going to the inside. Slaunch trying to follow through. Oh, no. Contact. Oh, no. Let's take a look at what happened here. Yup, and there you see it. Slaunch trying to make a big move, and that is just so unfortunate. That was like textbook racing incident right there. And what happened again was that was just a crazy sequence. Slaunch had a perfect apex in that first turn, especially on the hards too. Like, I think that was a really, really good turn one from him there. And on the other hand, Blake had a horrible turn one. Like, that was one of his worst turn ones. Went super wide, went way off track. Meanwhile, Luke was coming out of the pits. And so just three like completely different situations, and they all came together. And Luke was in the position to get ahead of Blake. And again, like Blake has the tire advantage for a while still on Slaunch, so Slaunch needs a little bit of help, and he nailed that apex. He had that run, so he wanted to follow through behind Luke and try to see if he could get back in front of Blake. And even if he got passed back, like even if he could battle with him a little bit or slow him down in a few corners, again, Slaunch is on those hards, and he has to wait like super long for the advantage to go back in his favor. Like that little bit of battling could really make a big difference for him. So I see why he was so aggressive right there to make that move. Again, like he was still in a good spot to finish. I would say like at least fourth, maybe fight for the podium. He goes wide again there too. But if he, I don't know, like I think he probably would have fell out of the podium. Taking a look at a replay of this one here. I think he probably would have fell out of the podium the way things were looking if he didn't like fight for it a little bit and make things interesting. So I get why he did what he did. So unfortunate. Again, it sucks to see, like I'm repping that run the softs early strategy, and it sucks to see that it keeps like not working out. But again, we need somebody to have like a clean run. We need somebody to have a clean run with it. We haven't had anybody have like a complete clean run with it. Like every time somebody, attempts that strategy, it feels like they have like some sort of error at some point, and then that ends up or some sort of incident. And Slaunch has had both, and that's in this race, and that's kind of what like costs him. So yeah, I'm waiting to see somebody try that strategy and actually have like a clean race the whole way through and see like if they're able to make it work. So yeah, we'll keep our eye on that and see if somebody can make it happen. But look at this. I mean, this is just so unfortunate. Slaunch, again, the way he was running, I would say was like at worst fourth, and now here he is battling in fifth and potentially going to lose that to Roman the way things are looking. So yeah, super unfortunate, but I don't know, the way things go sometimes. And again, Slaunch is always known to send it in those situations and with those moves. And again, I get why he did what he did. Obviously, result-wise and like hindsight-wise, it looks bad, but I get why he went for it. He was fighting for his podium chances there, and I think he kind of had to do it and had to make it stick if he wanted to have a chance at that podium down the road. So, valiant effort, but didn't pan out, unfortunately. But we still have a race going on. It looks like Luke's got a pretty good gap in the lead, so looking pretty good for that one, especially since he's got the softs the whole rest of the way. But we do have some other stuff to watch. We still have this battle right here between Roman and Slaunch. Oh, no, and it's getting a little spicy. Is Slaunch going to retaliate off that? We'll have to wait and see. Look at this move. Roman diving in super deep and getting Slaunch in the middle of the corner, getting him unstable right there. And moving him off to the exit. Well, let's see if Slaunch does anything. They have a bit of a history brewing the last couple races. So Slaunch surely not going to be happy about that. Oh yeah, there you go. There we go. Let's get some action here at the end. This is starting to remind me of the end of that first Hockenheim moto, where this is basically what it was, just Slaunch and Roman just going at each other the whole time. But yeah, they're building a bit of a history and a bit of a rivalry in this season for whatever reason. And that move from Roman, Slaunch wasn't too happy with it. He's probably already frustrated with the way his race is going, and decided to show the frustration right there. But that was pretty funny. But yeah, they're just brewing this rivalry, and we'll have to see. They'll have to settle it at some point, but right now it's just kind of like back and forth between them, and they're fighting for this last spot for the top 5. I think Slaunch gave him the bumper right there too. It looked like it. So yeah, just not giving Roman any slack at this point. Understandably so. So yeah, that's been pretty funny to watch. But now we're going to go back on board with Matt. And I know this may look like, okay, well, why are we going on board with Matt here? Remember what I said earlier. Matt is 2 seconds down on Blake. But, again, Matt is on the softs right now, and his softs are going to be good. They're going to be good the whole rest of the way. What I was saying earlier is Blake's are really going to fall off on the last, lap and a half, and especially on the last lap because he pit early. So even though Matt is, super far behind Blake right now, Blake is about to have some major fall off on this last lap, and we're gonna spectate Matt because I think that this could end up being a battle by the time this race is over. Come on, Forza, stop showing us the penalty. That shit doesn't matter. Show us the interval again. Come on. But anyways, here we go. Last lap around Silverstone International Circuit for Moto 1, And yep, look at that. Big gain. Already, when we went on board, it was about a 2-second gap. Now it's down to 1.3. Now it's down to under 1. Now it's down to under 1, and we're about halfway through the lap. You can see what I'm saying. It's starting to happen. The fall off is definitely occurring. Yep, there it is. Down to 0.8, down to 0.7. Yep, this is what you love to see. We're going to have a last lap battle here for second. See, obviously, both of these drivers, unless something crazy happens, look at the gap on the track map. They both should definitely be able to take a podium at this point for sure. But will Blake be able to hold on to second, or can Matt clutch out another second place finish? He's had so many podiums this season, racking up the podiums, racking up the points. Here we go, running out of time, showing him the bumper a little bit. Look at this. Blake's on the brakes super hard. I think just trying to protect that inside. Matt's going to try to get on the gas at the right time, try to find that opening. He finds it, trying to force his way in to the inside. Blake trying to throw him into the sausage curve, but Matt's going to bring... that's going to bring him back up the track, and he's going to have the advantage at the line, and he takes second. Wow. And I guess it's becoming a tradition now. Everybody just taking Matt out after the end of the race. And the replay there, Luke taking the win for this one. But yeah, let's take a look at another replay at the end there of this battle. And yeah, I think Blake was on the brakes super aggressively. One, because of his tire fall off. Like, I think he actually had to do that. Like, I think his tire fall off was that bad. So I don't think it was entirely like a sandbag play. I think his tire fall off was just genuinely that bad. But also to try to protect the line that Matt obviously was going to go for. But luckily, Matt was able to get on the gas and get at the right spot at the exact right time, and still, you know, was able to take that that position. Obex taking 4th, Roman does take 5th, Slaunch 6th, and Detail 7th. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, love to see that second place battle super spicy at the end, and that was that strategy stuff that I'm talking about. I love when that stuff happens. Like, Blake went for that risky move to pit early. He knew it was going to cost him late, but he was just banking on, you know, being able to take advantage of the gap that he built to be able to hold on to it. And Matt, on the other hand, was banking on just like gonna be having the better pace there at the end, and it ended up working out. So really cool stuff and pretty great race. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we have another one around this track, Moto 2, coming up, so see you there.